Hey everyone, it's the Urban Window Farmer. It's been a few days since my last update, and you guys demand content, so here's another update. Alright, first let's talk about the cucumbers, okay? So, here's a good sized one here. I think I showed this one on my last update and it was much smaller, but it has grown to a size where it's almost ready to harvest. This is the Chicago Pickling cucumber, okay? There's his brother right there, his little brother. He'll take a few more days. And here's another one. You would consider this imperfect produce, but it is definitely still edible. It tastes just like the other ones, just has a little bit of a curve to it. Alright, so this thing kind of wraps around. So we have cucumbers all around. If I bend down here and look up, there's another one. Okay, there's one right here. A pretty respectable size. There's my thumb, you see it on there. Okay, that's another cucumber. Okay, so you guys wanted me to talk more about peppers. They're a little bit hard to see, but you can see here. Let me wait for the lighting to adjust. Okay, those are jalapeno peppers right there. You see them? Okay. There's a whole bunch of them on this bush. Okay. So there's this pepper plant right here. And if I go around to the other side, okay, here's another one. Right there. If I can get that to focus. It's a good sized pepper. This one's almost ready to come off. And if you check out these peppers down here, can you see that? This one right here as well. I don't know what kind of pepper that is, but it looks almost like a jalapeno, but not really. So if you're some kind of pepper expert and you know the name of this, go ahead and let me know. There's my my whole hand, so you can see the size of it. Okay, I think in my last video I didn't really mention the tomatoes very much. Okay. We have this tomato plant right here, and these are the yellow pear tomato variety. And this is that whole bush right here of, you can see. I think it originates from this hole right here, from the very top, and it's kind of grown down this way, so from there all the way down to here, and it's branching out all the way over to here. So it's a full-size tomato plant here, and it's it's flowering. You have these sections here flowering, but it's the same variety as this here. I also have these in soil as well, but these ones I think I started these in in May. This plant, I started it in July, so it's already full size and ready to go in that amount of time. Okay, and another tomato plant was this up here. I took the Aero Garden. I took the Aero Garden pod. If you look here, it's pretty hard to see. If you look there, you may be able to see the pod of the Aero Garden. But this is a cherry tomato Aero Garden pod, and it grows extremely well in here as well. So it's starting to flower. You see the flowers there. So we should have some cherry tomatoes there as well. So let's also talk about these yellow wax beans. Okay. So these have been growing pretty well, but one thing I did notice is since there's not a lot of light in this corner here, the leaves aren't as, they don't look as happy as I would like, but at least it is producing pretty well. I am getting beans, and I've already harvested these beans once. This is the next generation of yellow wax beans right here. I usually take them off when they get yellow. When they're green, I'll wait a little bit longer. Okay. So one thing I wanted to talk about, last video I said I wasn't able to get my squash plants to start to fruit, and it looks like now we're starting to get some fruit from the squash. There's my hand there, so you can see the scale of it. So this squash is definitely starting to fruit. I watched another YouTuber's video, and he was talking about how these stems right here are either males or females, and there's usually a flower at the tip there, and so the males are typically these long, slim ones, like try to get my camera angle right. Like this one right here. See how the stem is long and thin? And then the females are like this. So this one theoretically should also become a squash, like this one did. And I believe in order to get more fruit, you can start cutting off the male flowers, so that you have more room to produce female flowers. So I'm going to start doing that. But yeah, this is the first squash, and it's a good size. Let me let you see the whole squash plant. So that's the whole plant. And like I said before, the one up here is doing much better than the one down here. This one has actually been in here much, I think a couple weeks longer than the one up there, and it hasn't given me any fruit. It does have, see, this is a female, a male flower, but I don't see any fruit in that one. So light is important. One last thing I wanted to mention was I have a squash plant. It's on the eastern side of the tower. The eastern side gets much more light, so it's much more bushy than the other side. Because this is the east right here. and the light comes up over these buildings and hits the tower. So I do have a lot of squash and things like this is a squash plant here on the eastern side. It's hard for me to get back there and show you all. I'm kind of limited on space, but one of these squash plants I wanted to mention that has grown all the way from the tower, and you can see it on top of this mint plant, and it's going all the way down that corner right there of my balcony, and then it comes, here's the end of my balcony right there, and you can see it's kind of coming off there. You should be able to see that it's growing down off the side of the balcony. So those are growing pretty well. Here's kind of a shot of that side of the tower. I'm going to stretch my arm over the balcony to kind of give you guys a better shot, a better view of that side of the balcony.